Hey guys, so in this video we're going to be talking about events in Alpine, and we've already explored some events like previously as well, but let's just get started with some of the basic events. So as mentioned previously, you always have to start with X data on the container before you want to begin, and you can actually add the X data on the body tag as well, but let's just add it here. So let's just go ahead and actually have a button event. So I'm going to create a button that's going to say click me, and we're going to output an event from this. We're going to say that if a person X minus on, if a person clicks this, and there can be, sorry, not here, X minus on, and as you can see, we have different types of events. We have the click event, we have the change event, and we just have a lot of events here. Right now, we just want to say click. So if a person clicks this, I'm going to say button clicked. And let's just close the bracket here. And as we can see here, if I click on this, as you can see, we have the button clicked triggered here. Similarly, if I want to have an input, and I can add a placeholder to this input saying key press event or something, and we can just change this click event to key down or key press or key up, whatever it is that we want. And now if we go to this input and we type something, as you can see, it says button clicked, which is obviously what we wanted to say here. So key press event. And now as you can see, we have the key press event being triggered here as well. Now imagine if you actually wanted to do something very specific. So there are different ways of writing these events as well. So we can actually just duplicate both of these things. And instead of, let's say, X on click, we can say add click or add key press. That's practically going to do the same thing. So now if we actually click this, we can see the button is being clicked. Let me add a BR tag here, 2 BR tags just to separate them. And if we actually go ahead and type something, as we can see, the key press event is also working. So this basically add key is a shorthand to say X on. So I would recommend using the add key, but one point with the add key is you're not going to get the autocomplete. So that's going to be a downfall, but other than that, I think it's good. Now imagine you wanted to output the console event on a very specific key press. Now imagine if I wanted to output this when a person clicks on enter. So you can do that just by pressing the enter key here or adding the enter key there. So if I'm typing something, we have the key press event running as well. So let's just actually do key up and say when the key up thing is actually enter. So I'm going to say when I press enter, as you can see, we have the key press event or the key press event on enter being triggered, or the key up event, or whatever you want to call it. So basically now if I'm pressing enter, it's actually registering the event. So this is pretty simple as well. A few other things that we can do is we can actually look for events themselves as well. So on this particular button, and I'm just going to actually add shorthand for events, and so we have the shorthand for events, and let's just actually have this in a div. So this is the shorthand for events, this is going to be the default for events, and then let's just add something else as well. So I'm basically going to copy these BR tags, I'm going to place them here, and if a person wants, like, they can actually look at the event themselves. So if a person wants, or if we want, we can look at the event by using the event, the dollar and the event thing. So obviously I don't have the console.log, I removed that. So let's just actually go ahead and see what the console.log prints here. So if I'm actually clicking this, as you can see, we have the pointer event here. And let's say if I was actually tabbing and pressing enter, we have the same event here as well. And now we can look at the target. So I can look at the target for this event as well. If I'm clicking it, as you could see, we have the button component being displayed here as well, and I can then obviously do whatever I want. I can remove it as well, which is a default property on the target, and I can click on it, and as you can see, it's removed. So that's like really something that's really valuable with events. I'm going to go ahead and just demo one other thing before we end this video, and that's going to be listening to events or dispatching, listening and dispatching events. So if you want to, or maybe it's going to be dispatch and listen to events. And listen to events. So if you, let's say, want to dispatch an event on, let's say, click. So I'm going to basically click this, and then I am going to say, well, what exactly it is that I want to do. I want to dispatch an event. So in order to dispatch an event, I can use the $sign and then say dispatch. So as it says, dispatch is a custom shortcut for creating a custom event and dispatching it using dispatch event. So you can say dispatch, and then you can say whatever it is that you want to print out, right? So I can say I want to dispatch a, let's just actually remove all of this jargon. And for now, let's just say I want to dispatch a foo event, right? So obviously, if I click this, nothing's happening, but an event is being dispatched. Now, if I actually want to observe that event, I can say that I want to create a div or an empty div, and I can just add a listener to that particular event. So I can say add foo, which is basically the event that we see here. So we can access the events that we have dispatched using the @sign, and then we can say that it's basically on the window. So we're going to listen for this particular event on the window, and when that particular event is detected, we want to console.log and say event foo event catched or whatever. So now if we, let's say, click on this, we can see that the foo event is being catched on a completely separate thing. So this obviously is not related to this in any sense. I can actually include it quite above. It can be sitting in a completely different location. As long as it's in the X data and this event is being dispatched, we can actually listen for a specific event quite easily. So those are the few things that I want you to know with regards to events. We'll definitely cover a lot more with Alpine. And as you can see, Alpine is really simple, really easy. It allows you to do so many powerful things just like that. So that's going to be it for this video. Do subscribe, to hit the bell icon, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.